So the situation that really kind of turned me off was me and my ex, I was in the leadership position. I was what we called the first counselor in the bishopric. And so yeah. And so when me and my ex, we had kind of like a falling out, and so we separated for a little bit. Well, during that time, I ended up sleeping with somebody that was not my wife, and we brought it to the attention of the church. And
What? That's crazy. Okay.
because I mean, like, and most religions do this, the confession part of it. Catholics do it,
Yeah, yeah.
majority of religions organized religions will have that. Um, and so we brought it to their attention, and normally, if you do something like that, you'll be put on like a year probation, um, of interacting in certain activities, going to the temple, stuff like that.
A temple.
Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so whenever we brought it to their attention, um, the president was sitting there and he's like, "Well, do you feel like you need to take that year?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Like I have a choice?" And that was one of the things that like really set off my ex as well, because she's like, "Wait, this guy just cheated on me, and you're gonna give him the option of staying in the leadership
Mm.
position when he obviously should be released automatically." And so that kind of like
Corruption.
was yeah, it was the thing. And then later on, I just realized that there's so many situations that kind of can lead to dangerous things like pedophilia. Um,
Yeah, not even in the Catholic area. I mean, isn't that what that's supposed to be?
Mormon.
Like,
I mean, that's
I know he's
All of
Mormon,
them.
but like, I
I
guess
think
they're all
I
part
think
of it. I guess to some
yeah,
degree,
I think all organized religion,
it's
has that.
organized.
Yeah, they have those youth leaders that are able to have one-on-one time with the youth, to have like interviews and see how they're doing, quote unquote. And I feel like it's just a very dangerous situation. Parents should be able to sit in on that if they need
Right.
to or want to.
Yeah,
Um,
they're like excluded from that type of shit, so you don't know what's
yeah,
going on behind the scenes. They
yeah.
just trust in, you know, your church.
So, so did this make you have a turn of heart to? Because I mean, I understand like having something against the religion, but like the faith or like the belief in, like switching to agnostic is a big change too.
So yeah, I believe there is a greater power. I don't
Cool.
believe necessarily in Jesus Christ anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I do believe that there are great men and women that have lived on the earth and have strived to make it a better place, and they very well could have done a damn fine job. History shows that that is a big deal. They have done a good job.
Whether or not
Um,
they're real, I think that the message that they left behind or the impact that they had on society is far greater than whether or not we know that they walk the earth. I mean,
But
yeah,
is it really their impact, or is that just a
just
general consensus
the
of?
impact is greater than them. I don't even think that it's them. If they are a person or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really their impact, like that what they're doing. It's how we've received it. As a
Yeah,
society.
yeah, I agree.
So, pal,
I think I
get
think
ready to
that
spit.
one. I think that's so interesting. I think Mormonism is nuts in my eyes. One.
Okay.
Do you believe in dinosaurs? Do you think that the Earth is like however many million years old?
I mean, to an extent.
I
Do you think
believe we don't
people and
know jack
dinosaurs
shit.
walk together?
That people and dinosaurs? No.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're getting there. Next, pal.
You think that Adam and Eve were real people?
Uh, I want to say yes, but at the same time, like I'm just kind of redefining my beliefs.
Right. Well, it's an
Gotcha.
ongoing thing. It's not to be set in stone unless you want it to be.
Right.
Yeah.
For my whole childhood, like Christianity was what I was grew up upon. I believed everything that was coming out because that's all I knew. So for you
Yeah.
to question and see things for your own eyes, that's a testament to just showing growth.
But no one's ever seen it with their own eyes, though.
No, I mean not seeing that. I meant like him seeing something bad going on within the Mormonism community.
Oh, yeah.
So even if you didn't question it before and you believed in everything that the religion had built as like your foundation, seeing something that was just a red flag wrong definitely makes you start to wonder if you hadn't
Yeah.
already.
Right.
I think a lot of it is built on ignorance. The ideal that ignorance is bliss. So, like, if you can chalk it up to something, you'll do
It's
it.
easier to do that. That's why
Much
humans
easier.
created that. A way of falling back on. I don't think there's anything wrong with faith, but I do think that we use that for power control, and it doesn't matter how far-fetched things go or if it's real or not, as long as people believe. And so that comes evil. It's not just good things. And
Yeah.
So
So, Jared, are you fully comfortable in saying that you just don't know and satisfaction out of that?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
You think
I
it-
lean. I lean
Right,
more
very good.
towards their existence, yes,
Okay.
than non-existence.
You think aliens are real?
Yes.
Okay.
We're doing aliens and gods compare. We can get into that whole thing too. I want to know from the quiet one back there. Does she have anything to add, or is she just like passed out?
No, I'm
Right.
still here. I
Writing
mean,
poems.
well, I agree with y'all, of course. I also think that I can't really judge people. I believe that God is the only person that can really judge us in the end. It is unfortunate that a lot of I don't know if you guys hear about, well, it's all over the news, so like priests and sexual harassment cases and what they do.
Been going on.
And it is
for
really
decades.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Keep going.
Right. But abuse overall has been going on, all over the world.
Mhm.
So I think sad part is evil will kind of always exist. We just have to learn to coexist with it
Doesn't
in a
mean,
sense.
Yeah. Doesn't mean
yeah,
there's not anything
like-
good with the religions that we're.
Right.
Yeah. So go on.
Right. And so for me personally, I just, use religion to help me get by day. So yeah,
It's
that's
more of
my
a
bit.
faith thing, I think. I think faith can be healthy, whereas religion, that's where
Yeah.
I think the negative comes in. Not to label as any one religion as being bad or saying something. It can be a very healthy thing, but it has led to more people dying than any other cause. And, I mean, that was the reason.
Sleepless. What do you think happens the moment you die? Like,
I like
what
that.
happens?
Well, hopefully you are able to ascend to heaven.
Hopefully.
Well, you do get judged
What's
by God.
What does that
Hopefully.
look like? What's that look like to you?
What is heaven?
What do you think?
What is heaven to me?
Yes.
Being beside God and my family.
God
Okay.
to you is a
Once you
physical
pass.
being.
Are you just gonna
Yes.
stand beside him for like?
He is
The
the
rest of your
light. He's the
eternity?
sun.
See, I think
Mhm.
the light and the sun we're all manifestation of God. I don't believe God can be put together in a box of a physical manifestation. I think he goes beyond that. I think there's a God
Yeah, he's
essence,
everything.
and we are representing it in this three-dimensional time and space that we have been blessed with. I think he goes way beyond that. I think we're just a small fraction of what God really is.
Yeah.
We're all
Mm,
little
That's a
piece.
beautiful thought.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? The moment you shut your eyes and you're tapped out, you're done. What's the next thing? What do you think, Buddha?
The beauty of unknown. Let's be real here. I think there's multiple answers that you could go down, and none of them are wrong. I think it's built into the foundation of life is the unknown. There are certain things that we don't have anyone to tell us what happened. If they do, we think they're fucking crazy.
Uh huh.
Every soul is different here. Maybe you end up in one place and I end up in another. We call that heaven and hell, but I think that resides on earth. What goes on beyond our little world that we're living in, I think that we could either come back here or you could move on.
Well, reincarnation.
I think that you could come back here. Let's just say that you didn't better yourself as a soul. I like to view things from a perspective of like, there is something greater than me that sent me here, whether or not you call it God, but it sent us all here to live out this version of what we call reality.
Okay.
And we're just a fraction of our overall being. This is just a small bit. The physical, the body, everything. So you take all of that. I think when you go, you could either come back, perhaps. I'm not saying come back as a squirrel. Let's just say you went out and did nothing to better yourself, because I think we are here for a reason, and it's not probably to make $1 million or, have the hottest women, hottest guy, achieve this high level of fame. Those are all great things on the external, but I don't think that's why we're here. It's what lies beneath that. So based on what you do in this life, I think I can determine what you do in what we call the next life, or if there is even a life. Sure, is there a possibility we all just tick out, done? I just think that life began from something far greater than what we can perceive, and that was an intentional thing, and that we're here to gain wisdom or go through our perseverance. We're supposed to experience the 3D reality and take it with us, because I think that without there being something greater, how in the fuck are we here?
There's no reason,
Why do we have this ego, this identity that we fall in love with, the name? Where you live, what you do for work, all of that. That's our only purpose. It's just, you come to a point where it's like, all right, I feel like there's something greater than just me here. I don't know what it is, but if we don't know why the hell we're here, there's maybe a part of us that does. And, so I think that we can reincarnate. I think we could also go into a place that we could call heaven. Okay? I think that you could go into these, we call them dimensions. I don't fucking know. I think it could be the part of you that's already probably there. We can call it God, but I think that these feelings that we have about there being something greater just tells us that at least we all have one thing in common in religion. Yep. And
we're really
the unknown.
We're really the only thing that does that too. Yeah.
I think we're all interconnected. But yes, go. Excited.
I think you actually hit it on the head, because every religion, Buddhist monks even, they try to reach that higher enlightenment is what they call it. And they'll sit there and they'll learn to meditate until they can cross over to that other dimension, like you were saying, to that higher enlightenment,
to where there's like a third eye, basically they call it that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing with most religions. I think Shaolin monks in particular, they take it to that whole new level where they try to do it while they're still alive, whereas most religions sit there and we're trying to obtain it after death. Yes,
wait for the death. Whereas what's beautiful about Buddhism is it wasn't so much religion for me. It's just so much as like a foundation I can fall back on and agree with. Instead of being agnostic and just kind of sitting there questioning, which I was for years after being raised Christian, I still wanted to explore other religions, so I did my research. I wasn't someone that even felt like he needed to have a God or believe in Jesus Christ or go to the church every Sunday, even though I did that growing up. But it was something that I just felt like there's got to be out of everything, Buddhism for me was just like one thing that said we are all together, we are all connected. We don't care. It wasn't built like a actual religion. It was more like this is the belief structure that we follow in order to have faith towards, ourselves, and gives us a sense of purpose. But we don't.
Just kind of a good ideology.
You don't
you know?
see people
it's
that
a-
are Buddhist going and wanting to start wars.
Right.
Over power,
Yeah.
and they won't deny. If you're a Catholic, they're gonna welcome you with open arms. They know beyond like me having this energy to resist what someone else is doing is just not part of their system. It's acceptance. It was love for one another. So there's beauty in all of these religions, but for the most part, it's just been, bloody. It hasn't been as
That
beautiful
makes sense.
as God is intended, whatever God is to you. Now, off of that, we get to go even further into your next favorite topic, women. So, you guys got all set. Oh shit!
Did you marry these 2 baby mamas
Oh yeah, we gotta explain
before
that.
having the kids?
Got two
Oh, for
baby
me?
mamas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for me.
Yeah, yeah, I was married to both of them.
Did I ask you about your engagement rings last time?
The price?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay. All right.
We'll talk about it again for everybody else that's listening.
course.
So my first engagement ring was initially 10 grand, and then after a repair, it added up to 16 grand.
She broke
the
the fucking
sec-
thing. Damn.
Right. What it was is we were in a naval shipyard. I mean, we were both in the Navy at the time, and she knocked the centerpiece diamond off, and it went into the water, into the
Gee.
ocean. And
In the ocean? Yeah.
yeah,
Jesus.
and that thing was 2 grand, just that centerpiece diamond itself. And the only repair that they had was a 4 grand diamond, so they put that in. Yeah. Anyway,
Jared, you're making me
second-
all sad. Like, damn, you had to do, you had to do all this for this woman. Oh, my.
Yeah, and then we didn't even last a year. Like, so 9 months of our marriage in, and I was already.
How many kids were bound after that? After a year
Yeah.
of marriage,
How many?
did she bring in? How many did she have at the time?
None. We were both 0
Oh my.
kids.
Y'all are sprung.
Wait, and so
Yeah.
how many kids
Two
did you
rabbits.
have while you were together?
1.
So where are the other
And you had 6. You had 6 with the other?
Okay. So long story short,
Okay.
My God.
so
I was like,
then
God.
my second wife, she had 4 kids previously from a marriage.
Okay.
The dad was a piece of shit. Out of the 12 years that the oldest had been alive, she had seen him 5 times total. And so I was like, well, I'll adopt him. And so I adopted her 4 kids, and then we had 2 together.
I applaud you for that, but what makes you think in your brain, like, yeah, I want to do
Adopt
this?
them?
Yeah.
I applaud you because you didn't even end up, like, you guys aren't together right now,
No,
are you?
but no. But also the 17-year-old son that is hers.
Mhm.
His birthday is tomorrow.
Oh,
And-
sweet.
And I mean, we still keep in touch all the time.
At least you keep
pretty-
track of their birthdays. I'd forget at that point.
Yeah, what?
He works at Taco Bell, and he'll give me free food, like if he's working randomly, and stuff, and I'm like, thanks,
So you have a
man,
good
but
relationship together. He doesn't like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I mean, you're
I mean, I was the kid's dad. I was their
For
only
sure,
dad.
they should
Right,
respect
right.
Yeah.
and love
Never
you.
known.
Like
And
the Go ahead.
Speak. You never speak, Sleepless.
No, I was just gonna say you weren't a stepdad. You were like this dad that stepped up
I was
and with
dead
the
step
kids. I
dad.
in
think
dad.
that's amazing.
Dead.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
most people wouldn't really take that responsibility, but I think it's really kind and brave of you to do that for them.
What's
But I
cool
think it's just
is kid
Yeah.
actually receives it and respects the fact that he had someone there. You know, whereas I think if you
Yeah.
were a kid growing up in that position, I wouldn't know. I'm thankful for it, but if you didn't have a father-like figure there, and then the other one comes in, usually it's like this kind of distaste, you know, that most
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
have. Of like,
You're not my fucking dad.
you're not my dad. Don't tell me what to
Don't-
do. I don't
yeah,
give a fuck.
exactly.
The other one
Yeah, don't
walked
tell me what
out
to do.
or left. I don't want anything to do with you. You know.
It's interesting that we're talking about this, and then initially this is about women, because
It all leads
daughters
around
that-
women.
the daughters that I adopted, they want nothing to do with me. Like they ended up one of them is 19. She has a baby now, so I'm technically a grandpa. Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's a 16-year-old, and they want nothing to do with me, but they immediately, once they got phones, they started trying to search for their biological dad, and they
Mhm.
had zero relationship with this guy.
They want a longing. They have a longing for this man, even if he was
Yeah.
deserted. You know, and so you had to stand back there like, hey, I was willing to give you, you know, that, but
Everything, yeah.
that's
But
tough.
so it's a weird situation, and I've always been curious what drove them to do that, because I mean, it's not like I didn't
What's
hug and kiss them.
so
It's
they
not that I-
reject you, and they still will look to find their real father, even though he was the
How-
one that gave the rejection.
Well, how
Right.
long did you take care of the girls?
So I was in their life for 7 years. So the
Oh, wow.
oldest was 12 at the
Okay.
time,
Okay.
whenever I came into their life, and then
Yeah.
the other daughter, she was 11, 10.
Hard to keep track when you got like the whole Brady bunch over there, man. God damn.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding. Those are formative years though, but I understand the concept of that is your biological father. I don't think I could go my whole life without
I would have to seek that out. But what hurts him
would have to.
probably is the fact that like he was open arms. I think maybe those
Right.
kids probably just felt like, you know, I can't even talk to my real dad. I've been going this long without one. I don't need you to try and.
Yeah.
How were the girls for your 7 years? Were they receptive to you as a father figure or no?
At the beginning, yeah. They and honestly, I played this all wrong, and there's no manual for any of this.
No, it's on the
No.
fly, I'm sure.
And
Absolutely.
of course, I stepped in to help with the disciplining, and
Uh,
as that figure, I became somebody totally different. I was the stranger in the home that was being me.
Oh, they were walking
Yep.
on eggshells around you.
yeah.
Yes.
You were kind of
And
like the enemy. Yeah.
And so even though, initially whenever we tried that and I tried to remedy it, it's already embedded, and so I think that's what happened with them. The guys, the boys all sat there and were like, I understand where this guy's coming from, and I don't think anybody could do it better, especially my biological dad. And
Yeah.
so
You were doing the
I
best
think-
thing that you could do at that time, given you had no experience with that type of thing.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, honestly, I got thrown into being a dad at all of the ages, all at once.
You
So there
took
was
on
no-
that challenge, man, and I think most people are gonna end up like drowning in that situation with taking on
Yeah.
that much. So, you can't force your kids to love you, and all you know is what you know at the time, man. Yeah.
Right.
So that's a tough thing. We're gonna get more into women now. We have one lady here who doesn't speak. And
So,
what's up? All right. So I'm gonna have you answer some questions for Pell here. I know he's eager.
I'm
oh,
I'm
right, I'll
chomping at the
try.
bit right now.
All right,
Actually,
Pell. I'm gonna just like give a little summary of what's based on what I know, and you can fill in the blanks, and you can tell
Okay.
your story.
oh, this is
Alright.
gonna be interesting.
So-
Go for it.
This guy is in a committed relationship, and they love each other, and they've been together for a while. But one of them has been a little bit, not so trustworthy and loyal over the times. Several times he has done this.
Couple.
We're talking about Pell. And yes, a couple times. Whereas on the other side, she keeps coming back and, they end up falling together. But Pell has his own reasons for why he goes and does what he does. And his opinion of her, which I'll let him all explain. But there is like this, something's not synced right here, in my opinion. And I want to know, you got the floor after this, but I want to just say, think about the question of, what do you do when you're trapped in this love thing and you know that maybe you're not doing the right thing, but you keep falling back to what you think feels right, which is the love, the relationship, So, but Pell, please explain from your perspective.
Yeah, I think that the relationships I've been in so far in my life, like I dated the girl next door to me for 4 years, and then she
Damn.
cheated on me. So
You weren't supposed to do that. That's only a
Yeah.
fantasy.
I get to the question of like, I don't know why. Like, if I'm able to commit these acts, I don't think I should be there. But I've also had no other girl that has treated me better. But also, nothing has stopped me to or from.
Keep getting away with it, for one. And a girl that
Yeah.
tolerates it, even though that she's probably given you 100% of what you could ask out of a woman as far as loyalty and trust, right?
A little of that situation of like a out of the league thing, and I think that's her, but
You think you're
a little bit.
upper echelon and she's just like, all right, well, I got to cling on to this.
I think
Well, I
that
got it. Or else why would she be with you? That's what you're thinking. Like, if I can
Dude,
go
at
do
this-
this.
at this point right now, I think I'm just fucking stuck. I don't even know.
You're not
It's
stuck.
it's scary because I'm gonna have to move to a new
Mhm.
state. I gotta bring her with me if she's coming with me,
You
Otherwise, I just-
you gotta bring her with
I have to
you.
break up,
Do you not want to break?
or we break up.
You
That's
almost
what's
sound
gonna happen
like-
right now.
You don't want to
Like
continue.
you want the relationship to
to
end.
end. Like, it's almost dragging you behind from what you. I'm just inferring, but I think that you probably want to achieve more, and you think you're already above her, and you keep getting away with things that, well, if a woman that you're gonna be with probably wouldn't actually let you get away with, and the fact that you go out with and do these things, it just shows that, like, all right, well, why is this still even happening? I gotta drag her,
What fucks me up the most, and like so selfish from like what I've done to her, but like seeing her be single and with other people pisses me off so much. Even when we're dating, like I'm insanely jealous of like stupid situations.
You're just jealous that
That's
it's not you.
I'm
It's a
jealous that like
narcissistic tendency.
I think I'm
'Cause
super narcissistic.
I don't think you give
actually.
a shit about the fact that she's actually dating someone, and you just give a shit about the fact that it's not you.
You.
She's not even dating, just her being
Fucking
around people. Even when
being
we're
around.
dating, bro. It's like fuck.
But isn't
Um,
that weird when you went out and cheated while you were together?
Multiple times.
So can't you flip that back on yourself and be like, damn, well, what I'm doing is no better. It's worse than what.
That's how I've kept it together, to be honest. I have to remind myself what the fuck, like, yeah, you're mad about this dumb shit, but like, think about if she knew what fucking happened.
Can you blame her for talking to other people when you are going your separate ways for the time being? Like,
Nah,
at least then
But-
it's mutual.
I don't know.
It
Dude,
seems
there's
like a,
Here we
like a
go.
tough situation.
Well,
seems like a what?
Oh,
tough-
sorry.
It's a
Well, I
tough
was just going to
situation.
say, like, a few things that you should probably keep in mind when you're ready to date or to be with somebody or to be committed is you have to, like, know your worth, be disciplined, and set boundaries, especially. Because if you don't do it right off the bat, then you're just going to lead on the other person. And,
Yeah.
you know, they don't have, basically, they won't really have expectations or anything like that. If you feel like you're having a lot of issues and you're like, you know, a lot of years deep into a relationship, get a reality check from a therapist or like a family relative, somebody that would, you know, honestly look at with for you. Um,
That's
yeah,
what we
but,
are.
like-
We're trying to slap him upside the head.
so
Buddha
if
does
you're,
sometimes. Buddha
yeah,
and
if
fish.
she's, yes, it seems like, yeah, how long were you with her? You said 4 years.
No, we're about to be 2 years.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that would totally be up to you in that case. I mean, nobody's forcing you to be in a relationship unless if she is, and you should probably dip.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that
Yeah.
the thing is, like, at this point, I want her to break up with me, like, you know.
And that might not happen.
She
So she
played-
might want
Almost
to
like
make you do it.
sabotage that you're trying to
She-
do.
Right.
Yeah.
Self-destructive behaviors. Yeah.
Right.
It's not healthy.
Well,
Yeah. I'd probably recommend moving away and like cutting her off
Please,
completely.
before you actually like propose to her, because if you keep
Yeah.
this up, this
Yeah.
is she wants to probably end up marrying you, whether or not you think, oh, that's horseshit.
she does, bro. I have engagement rings in my fucking phone right now on
Oof.
links sent from her.
I'd say, you know,
If you are this 50-50 with me, and I don't even think it's 50-50, I just think that this is going to blow up in your fucking face unless you take a step back.
I think so too. And the divorce rates in like America, like, dude, I
Yeah,
need to be committed.
be the 50% right there that divorces.
Yeah.
You will
I
get
can't be.
divorced based on the health of this relationship going into proposing. You could be in love with her, madly in love with her next week. I'm not saying you aren't now, but you could forget about all this. But and then the next week, you're going to go back to reality check. You know, there's something you're probably not taking care of with your own self, because you say, what is she really doing wrong?
I'm done with the victim complex, and I think I just need someone to be a little more self-sufficient.
You
And
wish she
not
was more
go-
independent instead of attaching on to
Yeah,
you and what you're doing. Does she support you in what you do?
she does a lot.
That's a gem right there. That's why I've told you before. I
say.
think that you need to really take a consideration, not just blow this in the dirt and like forget about it, but because this will carry with you as long as you want it to. Like, you're gonna have this same problem in the next relationship. I'm not seeing any signs of her being this crazy chick that like you need to get rid of, but it's what you want.
I think that I've sabotaged the relationship so much that, like, I mean, I've lost all trust with her. So like,
Why have you lost trust with her?
because she knows I've cheated at least once.
have you guys tried couples therapy?
No.
This is couples therapy.
Have you made it? Yeah, like have you made an attempt to bring that up with her? Because it's really important that you guys communicate, you know,
I think
on
this,
your needs.
this guy is already at a point where, like, fuck the couples therapy. I don't care if she said I want to break up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
That's
revert
what it
back.
Sounds like.
It's whatever doesn't give her the leverage to, like,
You're just glad being with someone that's
Be an
gonna
asshole.
remain this loyal to you, but you still don't have a trust for her, even though you're the one that negated the trust.
that hits, Buddha. You're on the fucking money right there.
Well,
I don't know why I don't have the trust, but
You don't
she has
trust
full reason
yourself.
not to. I don't.
That's
and I
half the
shouldn't.
battle.
You know that she deserves better, and so that you're trying to.
He thinks that he's on the upper echelon, though. You heard that? So I don't even know if he thinks that.
I don't think he does.
That's okay. We just got
Narcissistic
yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Reflecting on it and identifying it and becoming aware of it is a big key. I just think that you got someone that through thick and thin, obviously going through cheating multiple times is probably something that's like one of the bigger hurdles that you could have in a relationship.
Yeah.
You almost half say to her like, why doesn't she just go on and quit repeating the cycle? But she also has this half that is fully dedicated to being with you, and you're not going to find that every time you walk into a bar or something.
No, you're not.
So
It's valuable.
you could be in 2 years. I mean, I'd rather see you just be a better you, as for everyone. But it doesn't mean you can't be with her, but you could regret not. Like, you think that this is bad because you're the one cheating?
It's not even at that point anymore. But that we're so past the point of like having trust that like I can't be a normal functioning human. Like I'm being stalked by her on social medias to make sure I'm not following people. And then I'll get
Can you
interrogated if I do, and it's like
Can you blame
I
her?
can't. But like, at what point is that tiring for her? And we just like,
The whole thing should have been tiring for her. I think that it shows, I mean, a lot of, I would just assume that most men or women would not want to stick around for this long, even if they were, but she probably sees something in you, man, that you don't even
Well-
see in yourself.
or she's a different type of crazy.
Or how about this, Pell? Do you someday want to have kids?
Yeah, but
Not
to
now.
be honest, I don't.
Okay,
When I think about
Would
having
you-
kids, it's not with her.
Oh,
right. So just like try to imagine having a kid. Would you want your child to be in the kind of relationship that you're in right now?
because you could knock her
Like
off
later
that.
in life.
And if you say no, then you should, that should be a clear sign to you. But I don't know. It's all up
Once
to
you
you. It's
move
what you were
in-
able to tolerate.
Once you move
Yeah.
in, I expect a kid within a year or two if you actually stay together and maintain the relationship. Then you're
I-
going to have a whole different battle.
It needs to be healthier. I don't know. That's what I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. Well, does she know that, do you want this? I'm still like, I think you are too. Do you know what you want out of it other than it just being healthier? Do you want yourself to be healthier or the relationship to be healthier?
I think I want to start looking forward to shit with her, but at this point, it's like,
Hard because of all the things you've gone through? Like, why?
'cause yeah, I mean,
We're breaking
I'll
down the barriers, Pell. Let's go.
I will. Like the fights, dude. The fights, because we fight so much,
Okay.
all the fucking time. That's what I wouldn't want for a child to grow up in, is that me and her are not nice to each other sometimes.
No.
Most of the time.
What?
You
Unless we're in
guys-
the same
Why-
Do you
room.
set aside time for her during the week?
Huh?
Do you set aside some time for you to be with her during the week?
That's what's tough. Okay, so all summer I've spent every weekend going up and seeing her. I travel like 2 hours, either Kansas City, not to leak my location.
No,
but
well, you're making the effort to go see her. You got a little bit of
Yeah.
travel time. All right, that's cool.
it was every weekend except 2 weekends. I went and saw her this summer, and then right now she's in graduate school in Kansas City. I'm 40 minutes away. I'm about to lose my license due to well, drinking and driving.
Mm-hmm.
So she's on my case about I have to come see you
Right.
only on Saturdays.
Okay.
I get how that's tough.
Yeah. Well,
like-
she's concerned about the fact that you can't drive to go see her, and now she has to go out there, and it's probably not like a negative thing.
No, but it's her being so upset about 8 weeks of doing that when I did it the whole summer, 8 weeks
Oh
plus.
no! Well, so
And I
you're
drove
you're
2 hours,
thinking
not 40
about
minutes.
yourself in this situation. I'm just saying. You're just saying like I just did it for 8 weeks. Why can't this chick come out and like come on?
It's not always a give and take. Like
No, you want to see 50-50, so you think when you're struggling in this situation, she wouldn't bitch about coming out to see you, right?
right.
Well, I mean, I would be more pissed the fact that you got in that trouble, and that's why you can't drive. I wouldn't be pissed about making a 40-minute drive if it was someone I cared about.
Right.
But she's just blaming it on this. I mean, you guys are getting into arguments over some silly shit, and so I'm sure like
We're gonna end up moving away from each other in a couple months, and
so
whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen then.
that's what
You know.
is it. That's true, but don't you want it to be like have some sort of I don't know. Do what you
Man,
want.
I'm gonna put, and I've told her this. I'm putting my job, my life in front of the relationship.
Well, that's
Like
what
if I have to move somewhere, if I have to
that's-
move somewhere and she doesn't want to come, she'll break up with me for it. I'm going.
What if she
Anyway.
does though? What if she does want to come with you? You know, come.
There's a solid 6 months between that I can tell her not to come.
So it sounds like to me, man, we're breaking down this. You don't. I mean, I can't.
I don't know.
It doesn't
The
sound
thing-
like you love her as much as she's given love to you. Like if she wanted to break up with you, man, you'd be like, okay, I can go work on my career. I can go become a better person. I can go, have sex with all these other chicks and not have any remorse about it.
I should want to do that, but man, I'm just
There's a
so
part
jealous.
of you.
too jealous.
You're jealous of her?
I'm jealous of people spending time with her, like dudes.
So
Her finding someone new.
why her?
Narcissistic.
But why her in specific? Like, if you could move on and not take her with you, which you can do, or I'm thinking you should, but it's not healthy right now. I'm just saying, like, what's the difference between her doing that and why do you care if you move on, you go create something different, go work on your life? It's her that bothers you. It's not some other chick. I mean, it's her. So that means that I do think that it's like your ego's getting in the way there, but also if it's her, it means that there's something more there. I think that there's still such an attachment and love that you could probably have after all these years. There's a reason that you're still together. And
You ever just you wake up next to somebody, but you just had a dream about somebody else, and you look at them and you're like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
I can never say that I've ever done that.
You've never done that,
No,
really?
really.
What keeps you coming? I mean,
It might be the ease, maybe
don't you think?
Comfortability.
Don't you think?
the comfortability.
Well, I
'Cause
think that
she'll-
you're comfortable in these shoes that you're wearing right now. You know what I'm saying? You got someone that'll just always have your back and support
Right.
you. And
And why?
why
And
should
I know that I should be all about it, but like
you're getting
again, I'm
away
telling you-
with shit that you can't get away with.
no, and that doesn't even matter. But also, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm like dreaming about a bitch I had fucking
that
from high school.
Sure, and there's probably also a bitch that you fucked at some point that wasn't your girlfriend while you're still in the relationship. You know.
I don't think about her, but
It don't
I just
ma-
think
I-
that there's
that-
something. I constantly think there's something better. I don't know what to do.
All right. Well, that relationship could be better because it's not like it's shit. I would try working on yourself instead of working on trying to get better pussy because that's fleeting. You don't even dream about it. So what the hell?
It's fair.
Next.
New topic.
Next.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Good chat.
We got that out of the way. We're a good way in here. So I won't do marriage. We'll just go to Hawaii. Do you think that Hawaii should be funded right now, being that it's burning down?
Of
Funded.
course.
Funded by what?
Us, instead of like going and funding Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
We don't
100%.
we don't even pay attention to that. Like we're having that go on right now. But we were way quicker to go support Ukraine than we are Hawaii.
We're also supporting Niger and France in their revolution.
Well, yeah, we're one world government. I'll keep saying that every podcast. Till everyone figures that out. But I don't know. I think something that should be done. I think that's shitty. Next place to burn up's California, and I don't know. I think that's just shitty that we don't draw enough attention to things that are actually going on in our own country.
And
Yeah,
I'm curious,
kick-
why do you think that?
Because we should support us before we go and support someone else.
No,
Not
no. Like, I agree with you. Like, yeah, I think we should be helping out because, Hawaii's a state in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But I meant, like, why do you think they're kind of ignoring that issue? Like, how we give.
I
money?
couldn't give a rational reason for that, other than the fact that it's pure like ignorance right now. I think they will end up doing
I think there's
something.
financial gain.
Yes,
I think
there
there's
is.
financial
Yeah.
gain.
There's gain in
Unfortunate.
all of this. There's a reason that it's burning, and it's
We
not because
funnel-
we can't put it out right now.
I have a reason why we funnel into this. It's that right now the United States doesn't get into battles with our new weaponry, so like drones, missile strikes, missiles,
Yeah.
weapon, like just guns in general. So like to test them and to have valuable data and to collect what they do, we can't do that against a real enemy. We sell them off and then take the data anyway.
We all serve each other in that sense, I think.
Or you spend a bunch of money on Hawaii when Hawaii's going to make all of its money back in a year from tourism.
There's no gain from that, whereas they see a gain in going into Ukraine and being a part of something.
Right.
The more areas that we can, like, open doors in, that's why we have bases everywhere in the world. The more opportunity there is to be a part of money. We're already in this debt. Like, we have the strongest military. Why not just go flex it wherever we can, where we see money? Whereas Hawaii is just like,
We flex it, but we also
that's bad.
we're testing it out a little bit. We're like, let's make sure we got the best shit. We're testing it against Russia, basically, which is our only adversary besides China.
Yeah, I know. Ukraine's not even really fighting that war. It's us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that place hasn't been. I mean, come on. All right. Hawaii's burning. Shit. What is you guys' gaming history? Gotta touch on that before we go. Come on, Poseidon. You're the elder here.
Oh shoot. I mean, I've been gaming since, 1995, 1996.
96. I
Damn.
was negative 2 years old. Damn.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've been gaming for a good minute.
So what was the
It's-
first system? What did you start on?
So it all started at my friend's house on the regular Nintendo. I played Duck Hunt for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And then kept going over there, and so on and so forth. And then eventually we got a Super Nintendo, and neighbors got the Xbox and N64, or not Xbox, but PlayStation.
Hmm.
And favorite game of all time was Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater was the
Mhm.
number one. and then of course moved on to Final Fantasy VII. But I mean, I've been gaming my way all the way up through on every console, all the way up to PC. Whenever I learned how to build computers, so,
When did you learn to build?
literally like a year and a half ago.
Nice. Now you're building PCs for other people. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right. Here's the guest of the hour. Shrimp. Tell me the gaming background.
Well, I was born in '06, so didn't really have much. I started out with a Game Boy Color. I put on that
Yes.
a lot. I think I
Damn.
played a lot of Mega Man. That was about it. After that, I moved on to a Nintendo DS. Still probably the best Mario Kart player in the world.
Nintendogs.
Still the best. Undefeated.
I was a Mario Kart Nintendo DS master.
What'd you play on DS?
A lot of I played a couple of the Mario games.
Not
think I
Pokemon.
had,
Not a Pokemon.
I was not. I've never been a Pokemon.
Oh,
fan.
no childhood. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, I mean,
Poor
well, I collected
thing.
them. I collected them and we traded them at school, but we had more like when everything kind of started to kick off, it was more like fidget spinners and stuff.
Oh
You
God,
know,
that's
Oh, wow.
that's
that
how
was-
we know that
was,
we're
that was
too.
my middle school.
Yeah, really fucking old, Buddha.
Yeah,
That
dude.
was my
It
middle
wasn't
school.
that long ago, pal. But now I remember fidget
16?
spinners. But like,
Yeah.
damn, I was like at a point where I looked.
I was
at
already in
everyone-
high school.
I looked at everyone doing that. I'm like, damn, you guys really got something going on with you. Like, oh,
I got the Bakugan in the metal car, bro. I was throwing Bakugan on.
yeah.
Um,
I do
my-
remember Bakugan.
Go on, sleeper.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh no, I was just gonna say my siblings had a Super Nintendo, like I think it's like the entertainment one system or
Uh-huh.
something like that. And we had Donkey Kong, I think it was Country 2.
Ooh, good
I
one.
used to play a lot of that and like the Super Mario game, Super Mario World, something like that. Also, we had
how
we had
old were you when you started? Like, you like young? You just watching your brothers?
yeah, I was
gaming?
very young. I was like 3 or 4 years old when they were
Okay.
getting me into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because they were like in their preteens era.
Mm-hmm.
So
They were gaming. Yeah.
yep, and my uncle had a PS2 that he would let us borrow, so we definitely have those days where we'd play a lot of GTA Vice City,
Ooh.
Nice.
Mortal Kombat or Megadon, I think.
Mortal
Those are
Kombat.
one of my favorite games.
Some
But yeah,
classics.
and then I had a boyfriend that I'm still with. He
Had
bought
one.
me a well, yeah,
Had a
well, my boy.
boyfriend. Still with.
Sorry, no, my boyfriend. Well, it was a long story short. We dated and then we broke up for a brief moment, and then now we're together again. What the fuck was I going with this?
Gaming. Don't worry about the
Oh, yeah.
boyfriend.
He bought me a PS4 for Valentine's, and also like a present because I had won an award,
Damn.
and so he got me a PS4.
Just wants you to game with
Yeah.
him. There's nothing
And we
wrong
used to
with that.
play, a lot of. I can't even name any of the games. I remember playing a lot of Overwatch. That was like my main high school game. I would just run home
Aren't,
and play.
aren't you on a PC
And-
now?
Yeah, I am. He bought me a PC about 2 years ago. So
Jeez.
it's pre-built one. So he also games.
Yeah.
He's like a total gamer guy. He's all about that.
He started your gaming
Um,
career, basically. Now that you're on
Yeah,
a
he
PC.
did. Yeah. And what about y'all?
Last to go.
Let's go.
With the NES, the N64, played that. It was my brother's shit. PS2 was dope, and then really started. I turned 10. I got a 360 for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
My mom bought me Call of Duty 4.
4. Dang.
Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Went crazy. Played that like every day. World at War, Modern Warfare 2.
Call
keep going.
Call of Duty was like your first main obsession, you'd say?
Yeah, I'd say. But I met like a bunch of kids that were in high school when I was in elementary, and on like 360 playing COD. Loved them. Still my boys. I'm friends on Facebook with them,
Right.
and they would make me text girls in their school like really fucked up shit. My dad would find it on my phone, He's like, you're actually 11 years old. You can't tell this girl to suck your dick. And I'm like, sorry.
Sorry,
Oh my god.
can't do that.
I had the slide phone with the full keyboard.
Yeah, man, that was
Oh,
badass back
nice.
then.
Really
Damn.
tough. And then built a
Alright.
computer like freshman year of high school. And
Cool, cool.
then,
What made you build a computer?
my buddy won a raffle on a Minecraft server and got a laptop, like a gaming laptop.
You
I
want
was
to do
like,
that shit?
I said I'm on. I just looked up a YouTube video for a $500 budget build.
Yeah, man.
Bought it all and built it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you don't regret it to this day. That's for sure.
No, I'll never go back. Fuck this controller.
As soon as I got my first
Consoles.
gaming PC, I sold my Xbox. It was like an Xbox One, and there was these high school kids that lived like a couple miles away. They just saw the ad. I'm like, yeah, go enjoy it, guys. I'm never looking back. You know, sold for like $200. But I started on PS2. Was probably like the first one. I had a Wii. But it definitely was heavy into Pokemon, so everything was on like a Game Boy Advanced, you know. And then I got into console gaming. I remember playing like Lego Star Wars. Everyone was playing that at the time. That was in my school, and so I was like, all right, I'll get into this. I'm playing a lot of NBA 2K, and then eventually you get into the shooters, Call of Duty. Get an Xbox 360, go into getting a PS, what was it? I think I get the 4 after that. So I just swap like consoles. I didn't have a love for either side. I go PS2, 360, PS4, went to the Xbox One, and then I just saw people being able to build, some shit in Fortnite that was out of my, my league. I'm like, all right, damn, I can't do this on console. So it was all Fortnite. I'll give it to that. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I like computers this much. This game seems to have more benefits for me to have a keyboard. So I'll give it a go. I always wanted to challenge myself to learning keyboard and mouse, so I ended up taking the dip, and then a week later I'm selling my Xbox and never turned back, So that was fucking gaming is life at the end of the day. There's some people
Right.
that started at like 3 years old.
I started at 6 on a 360 playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 as soon as it came out.
Black Ops 2, you were 6 when
Yep,
Black Ops.
Yep.
Isn't that
I've
crazy?
heard the worst things ever.
No, you didn't. You didn't hear Modern
Call of
Warfare
Duty,
2.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2 being your first COD is.
Isn't
nuts
that
to me.
nuts?
I mean, honestly though, it's still one of my favorites.
No, that's a good.
It's right under Black Ops 3.
I
It's a
like.
lot of people's
Classic.
favorite.
Listen,
I think
no,
Black Ops 3 is honestly one of the best Call of Duties ever made.
it's up there.
Uh,
I think Black Ops 1, that was like the first one I got addicted to. At the time, people were already playing MW2 and beforehand. But I just started getting hooked at Black Ops 1, and then I looked at that game as like, all right. I don't know. It's like a bias thing. I like that one a lot for the way it played at
Yeah.
the time. But
Man, I have a core memory of me and my brother going with my mom to GameStop and getting World at War, like on drop that day, and we played it, finished the campaign that night, and then you finish the campaign, you're chilling, then it just starts zombies on the first map of zombies. I about shit my pants.
Oh, imagine that zombies though. There had never been that.
You just never seen it. It's
You
brand new.
never seen that shit. I think Black Ops 1 had a really popular zombies. I know. I went back and played World at War, and that had just to see like, all right, this is where it started. Even though it wasn't a popular COD by any means, a lot of people just
What
have.
do you mean, bro?
They don't like
it
it.
for sure.
I love that Call of Duty.
I loved it.
That's up there with me, in the tops. But I just got poor feedback. If you look back, it's just probably not one of the most. There's a reason there hasn't been World at War 2.
That might have been the only one with dismemberment.
Yeah.
I honestly,
Blow
I
off
think
legs.
going back and like visiting old games you used to play is such an interesting experience. to see like how different it looks from what normal games look like. Just
Yeah,
like
because they're
years after
shit.
it's
They're always
released.
shit. They're so bad.
But it's so nostalgic at the same time.
That's
'Cause
why.
it's like you remember how shitty it has always been.
That's why
But when you first played,
I
it looked
played
so
at
good.
RuneScape growing up, and I
It's
went.
true. And then you get all
I just went back
you
to
get
it.
yeah. Then you get all like the weird jokes that it would make. Like you actually understand.
This isn't
I don't know. Maybe
SpongeBob.
it's just me.
SpongeBob and their weird jokes.
You guys ever rewatched movies, like old movies that you used to watch as a kid?
Yeah.
They always hit different.
Yeah.
They always hit different.
Right?
It's a whole different experience.
I caught so many sexual jokes from, I mean, all the movies back then.
From every
that I
movie, there was
definitely-
a sexual joke, and I had no idea.
Yeah,
so-
100%. Like there literally was.
Yeah. Man, it was embarrassing for me. So like, you know, me having older siblings, I fucking grew up watching like the scary movie shit and like Harold and Kumar. I don't know if you guys know those
Yeah,
movies.
very,
God.
very dumb.
Or American Pie. Like
Okay,
I'm
American
like, yeah,
Pie is
or like
cool, but
Austin Powers, you know, those
Oh,
kinds of
yeah.
movies. Like, so
Austin
weird.
Powers is great.
Yeah.
last
Yeah, but
question:
not a lot of people can relate.
Boomers versus now, like the Gen Z millennials. What? There's such a contrast between these two. The way
I
that
think boomers have a better view on the world.
no, I think they're too old to have a view on the. I'm kidding.
You
Uh,
think so?
I think yeah.
So-
I think they're too scared. They don't know what the internet
I think-
is, bro. They're fucked.
And
like, wake
I
up.
mean, yeah, okay. So they think that we're soft, basically pussies, given everything. We rely too much on social media. We don't know where we're going. We don't want families like we did before. The American dream back then was to just work a job, 6 days a week, whatever, have a family, have a wife, and a nice house. Maybe a nice car and your dog, and you call it a day. And that was the definition of success. Even though you'd be slaving away at a job for the next 50 years, doing something that you absolutely hate, you come back and there's, a chance that you don't even like seeing your wife anymore, and these kids are just fucking spoiled brats. And then this is the era of whipping your kids with belts and going to work every damn day and just being a true American. That's what my parents grew up in,
Yeah, they didn't see a beheading from ISIS on their fucking phone before their class in like 5th grade. So
A phone? I can look up videos on my phone? Yeah.
But I also think their youth was better though, because they were more out. They were with the world more. They were.
I think they were more connected.
everywhere. I feel like they had a happier youth. Nowadays, it's a lot of just like youth is just I'm playing Fortnite with the boys, or my TikTok videos got to blow up, or I got to do this.
There
or I
wasn't
gotta
as
be
many
monetized, a lot of-
distractions that
Yeah.
took
yeah,
you
I think
away
it's
from
like
what
months
mattered.
ago.
I think they were a little more ignorant, and that's a good thing.
Growing up in social media and being the first generation to do that was, I could tell as it was happening, the amount of trauma that it was causing to people, just seeing all the negatives, because I started Facebook when I was too young, but right when it was like 2009 or something. I'm not even like a teenager yet. I'm just making a fucking Facebook. Everyone makes a Facebook. And then you start judging yourselves and comparing each other, and it's
Other
all
people's lives.
everything becomes a status in the photo, how you look, where you at, how many friends you got, and it changes your whole perception. Like we were like almost guinea pigs. This hasn't been tested in the wild, how it affects people's mental health. We know it went down. Now, does that all have to do with social media purely? No, but I think that, if I was 50 years old coming into this social media thing, it's not going to affect you as much as someone like me that was actually 9 or 10, turning to
Right.
11 or 12, coming into something that you get obsessed with. It's meant to be addictive. And unfortunately, I think like right now we're communicating through Discord and we're making a podcast posting out there, and this wasn't the thing back then, you know. So they look at this as like, what in the flying fuck are you doing, you know?
It's like we're just having a conversation that we get to save and other people can enjoy.
Right. Well, they don't see it like that, you know. I mean, that's not like that's a blanket statement, but we, as in the people that didn't come up on this technology, it's hard for them to grasp that people are just so. Because, listen, we got cancel culture. We have the trans rights, the feminism, all these different things. You can make a big issue out of anything now, and I think that social media has a big play in that. So my question is, like, why, you know, is it right for them to be judging us the way that we are? Are we that slow? Because I don't think we have a clear designation right now. We're like in the middle of questioning everything, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So, but they have this distaste. Will we in 20 years have this distaste towards the next generation? I mean,
I think we probably will.
mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Why is that?
Like, because it's like no matter what, everything's gonna change eventually, and a lot of people when you get older, they don't like change. They like things the way they are because it's always been how they were for their whole life. So when things start to change, I think people, when you get older, you just don't like it. You don't like that these are different. Everything's different. Nothing's the same.
Why is it when you're young you
Like how you
want
remember
change
it.
though? What do you
You
think?
don't
think
want to
it-
be like your parents. You
Yeah.
you hit the age. where
Then
you're like,
then when you hit that, you just are like, okay, cool.
no, I think like when you find out what you like, then you're just like all right,
Stuck in
well,
your ways.
I don't need anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I like this, and that's what I like.
That's sad, though. I mean, so
I think we'll be more susceptible to change than our parents were.
I do. That's something that I would like to touch on. In fact, I think that I could see myself in 20 years still giving a fuck about what the latest music is, you know, or the movies, or as far as like what's the latest. If there's a new device that comes out, you know, I'd like to be in touch with that. I'd like to think I would be in 20 years. You never know. They could be trying to make a chip inside of your brain. I mean, then I won't be a part of that. But would you guys put a chip in your brain? If you
No.
could have access to
No.
Google.
And
And then fall behind?
Yeah, I would.
Oh God, we've lost him.
Let me explain my.
That's the
my-
whole
my
point. Explain.
concept then. Let me explain my concept. So, you know how like I was gonna go with texting and driving is a big problem, right? It's a huge problem all over the world. Distracted driving.
You
I
don't.
feel like
You're
I
gonna
could-
try and solve it by putting a chip inside of your brain.
Just
That
hear me out,
controls
hear
you.
me out,
Okay,
hear me out, hear
okay.
me out. I'm not thinking a chip in your brain, but something you can like attach.
Yeah. It's called Apple ID, and you'll sign in via
Yeah,
Neuralink.
like okay, yeah. Like it's like a how do I explain it?
Oh, I know how to
Kinda like
explain it.
A pair of glasses.
Yeah, they've tried
that-
that. You're gonna start with
I
that.
think
Oh,
it should be more
Google
revolutionized.
Glass.
Yeah.
Google Glass, bro.
All these major companies have tried. I think it's gonna be something that like either is so free to access that everyone like you're gonna fall behind taking it, and I think this can be dangerous. Because you know how everything gets hacked right now.
Yeah, they're always gonna be.
What if they
company
hack
that's gonna do that.
everything that you're in from starting your car? What if you could do that through these pair of contact lenses? What if it just needs to be a chip in your brain? What if they don't need anything? What if they can just send out a signal to manipulate your
EMPs right-
decisions, or you
They
can
just EMP us right now and we're fucked, you know.
yeah, I'm waiting for that. You know, that would be cool. One of these elections, before you die, especially the younger one here, the shrimp.
Uh-huh.
You will
You're
see.
about to say something illegal.
No, the EMP will hit.
Oh, the EMP. You think?
Yeah, I think you'll be out of power for a few months.
Decade. I'm giving it
God.
a decade.
Like
Something's
some-
gonna change.
Some
Everything.
purge type
I
of-
think within 20 years, if we haven't have lost power on the grid at a major scale for a select amount of time, I mean, it's just coming.
That's a weird thing to think about though, because half our world runs on electricity.
All of it.
Do you understand that that's
our money isn't our
would
money
kill
isn't
more
based in
people
anything.
than that COVID did in way less time if they took away that?
When I was
We would go
music thinking about
nuts.
putting a chip in my brain, I'd put like a music chip that like I can listen to music.
That's where they start you with.
That's like the
Get
only
Spotify
thing.
in your brain. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, if I can do Spotify in my brain,
don't
like,
make
why
it
not send a
Spotify.
text? Why not, you know,
Why not link your GPS? Let me have your location.
yeah, like, okay, navigation system. You can
They
just,
have it anyway.
That's just too much.
it's already being done.
That's extra. I know
As
they
far
are.
as mandating it,
Your phone's in your
Hey.
pocket.
your
baby.
phone is the start. Right now, they don't have to chip your brain because you carry around your phone everywhere that you
have a
go.
chip.
It's
Sorry.
literally tracking every move that you do and the decisions. Like, you have an algorithm that takes care of all of your personal data and tries to decide what you're being shown next. This is all for advertisement and control. They make a profile out of your own identity. So you are being linked.
YouTube.
Yeah, well, the suggestions that you get.
All my advertisement recently has just been Valorant.
The fact that we're talking right now, if you have your phone in front of you, and we started talking about, I want a new couch. I want a new couch. I'd love a new couch. Oh, I would love to have a new lamp. I wish Amazon would just show me a new... Amazon will just hear you and show you a lamp.
But is that a good or a bad thing though?
Why don't you
In
think
all
that's
reality.
bad?
Well, I mean, let's say
That thing
You
is
are trying to-
listening to you and showing you.
I don't like that. Don't
Oh.
say I don't. I hate thinking about that.
They
Well-
sell it to you, so you think it's good.
The goddamn phone is
I'm
listening
brainwashed.
in to every conversation that you have in order to
Okay.
advertise.
Brainwashed.
Yes, that's why we're trying to undo it on this podcast right here. We can just try and
Ain't nothing you can do about it though.
except at least be aware of it and realize that this
can be
thing
aware.
is trying to take control of me and influence all of my decisions. Just as Google did. Oh, just Google it. Just Google it. You don't think they control what information shows up at the start? It's good for basic information.
Sponsored.
It's done a lot. But
That's
Googling
the
it?
thing I saw earlier with sponsors. So I was watching a YouTube video about like most dangerous cities in America, right?
Okay.
And it was a helicopter police chase sponsored by an automotive company. So the news is sponsored by companies to like show crimes.
Bro, what?
And
There-
The news is sponsored by way worse than that.
The way
I know, I'm
worse.
just saying,
The
it's like that's like a start of it. That's like the news is putting things out and promoting
Listen.
things to give the news more.
I hate to
information.
bring up the man Trump because I know that's too much for people, but when he said fake news, he didn't just mean like what they were talking about him. It was like almost a truth bomb of like, yeah, the news is there to manipulate. Propaganda. Why do you think you don't see like a bunch of positive things on the news every fucking day? The good
Doesn't
going
get the
on in
views.
community. Doesn't get the views. It doesn't
Well, the-
move people. People are emotional. You know, it worked well with COVID. You turn on the TV and you
Floyd.
see George Floyd. It wasn't a positive thing that makes people turn on the TV, and it controls. It's they do it way worse in every other country that isn't, you know. So we got it all right, but it still doesn't mean that we aren't desensitized.
we get two stories, and it's Fox News or CNN, and it's just to be
Yeah,
divisive.
opposite. That's all.
it's for.
That's the whole point. That's the way that the system functions.
If it's not the opposite, you're not gonna get. I hate that It's so
That's why I
natural
fell
to
out
choose
of
one side
believing
or the
in
other.
one side or the other. I just came to a point where I'll try and draw a couple of things together from both sides that maybe make sense. But when you keep doing that over and over with different topics, you end up coming to the conclusion of like, well, fuck this, man. It doesn't have to be politics. There's always another side. You know, with the people in power, they're going to persuade you think heavily one way or another because that controls the most out of like what you believe in and what you do, what you say, what you think. If you don't think that's going to be misconstrued, then you know, I guess ignorance is bliss. You know, it all comes full circle. You could do the same thing with religion. You can do the same thing with politics. But
Oh man, I wish I was retarded. I wouldn't care.
no, what if you were retarded and that's all the only thing that you did was care? You know?
That was my special interest.
Yeah, like that was the only thing you were capable of. How about that? That's what you deserve in the next life after saying that, you know? Oh, fuck. All right, we're going to call it, guys. You guys are dead. All right.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.